Hello everyone, welcome to the session. My name is Vibhati and in today's session we are going to do something very important. But before we start the session, let's take 1 or 2 minutes. Let everyone join. Let's all get settled over here. Then we will discuss very important part of your NEET or JEE preparation. So, before we start the session, tell me in the chat box from where all of you are joining your session, your city, your village, your town. Hello, Vacho. Hi. Hello, Prasad, Kesri, Devi. Oh, nice. Good to know, Shahid. You're from Vizag. I always wanted to visit this city. Now I know whom to connect when I'm visiting Vizag. Hello, Vita. Hello, everyone. Karnool, wow, that's really nice, Lakshmi. Vizag, very nice, Beta, very nice. Good. Good to know that all of you are joining. Hyderabad, Vaishnavi, yeah, that's really nice. I'm also from Hyderabad. Srinivas, hello, Beta. Vizag, oh, nice. Warangal, that's really nice. Hello, everyone. Vijayawada, nice, nice, nice. Good to know. Vikarabad. Vikarabad is very beautiful place, you know. Hyderabad, Kadapa, nice. Warangal, Karimnagar, Nellore. Hello, everyone. So good to see you all participating in the session. Now, I think almost all of you are here. So let's discuss why we are here today. What is you versus you, and what is the main thing that we are going to discuss in today's session. All right, so I know all of you are preparing for NEET and JEE, and I know that all of you are having almost 60 pending chapters and 12 upcoming mock tests, and still you clicked on this video, so I'm impressed. Thank you so much for joining the session. But before you panic scroll to the next video, let's take a pause. Let's take a pause and, we are not going to solve any question today. We are going to solve a very important problem today, right? And that problem is the voice in your head. You know, that voice. It's like, okay, everyone is ahead of me and I'm falling behind. Yes, I'm talking about that voice. So today, we are going to shut it down with very simple method, that is you versus you, right? Oh, you are having IELTS exam. All the best. So I hope you guys are ready for you versus you session. So my name is Vibhati. Yeah, that's me. And we are going to talk about this concept. We are going to talk about this concept. So let me ask you something very honestly. Whenever you give IELTS exam mock test, what is the first thing you do? Your score or your friend's score? What is the first thing you check? Your score or your friend's score? And you should be honest here. I want honest responses. What is the first thing you check? Your score or your friend's score? Everyone, come on, give me some response here. That I'll tell you, beta. We will. Your score, wow. Friend score. I know. You are those who are saying that I checked only my score. You are lying. I know that thing. Friend score, right? And for example, in your mock test, you are getting 640, and your friend is getting 660. Then suddenly your 640 feels like 440. Am I right? Am I right? Suddenly, our 640, it feels like, 440. So true, so true. It's normal. We all do that. It's very normal. We all do this, right? But here is the truth that nobody tells you. There is one special line after this. So please hear this thing very carefully, that you are not here to beat them. You are here to beat you. You are here to beat you. You versus you is the only competition that matters in your life. Not just in NEET or JEE preparation, but this you versus you is the only competition that matters in your life. Fine? So, let's understand. Let's understand one thing. So, let's understand one thing, that why do we need this you versus you concept? What is the need of this one? Right? So, when you compare yourself, there is so much pressure to measure your performance against other. Like who finished organic chemistry first? Who is getting 170 marks in physics? Or who is scoring 680 plus in every mock test? Right? We just focus on those things. Right? We just focus on those things. And then what happens? What happens, beta? Suddenly we start feeling like I'm not enough, I'm falling behind, or maybe I'm not cut out for this. These are the different types of thoughts we get. And because of these thoughts, what happens? These thoughts, they kill focus. We are not able to focus. And then these thoughts, they trigger anxiety. And then we distract ourselves from growth. We just keep on, thinking about this thing that, okay, my friend is very good. He is scoring really good in mock test. I'm not able to score much. So maybe I'm not good enough for this goal. And then we distract ourselves from the growth. This is what happens in every situation, right? So here is the powerful thing, that you are comparing in this situation, beta. You are comparing your inside to someone else's outside. And yes, I know we all were there, right? So I know what you guys go through during this time, right? So that is why we are here with this special topic. But here, when you do this, okay, he did organic chemistry first, he's really good in physics, blah, blah, blah. Then what do? We compare our inside to someone else's outside. Now, what do you mean by someone else's outside? So, when you compare, you don't know for how long they studied. You don't know their background. You don't know their brain. You don't know their learning speed. And at the same time, they don't know yours, right? So, they are not on your path. You are not supposed to match them. You were never supposed to match them. The only thing that you need to beat is the version of yourself from past. Right? The only thing that you need to beat right now is the version of yourself from past. Right? So this is comparison trap. It kills focus, it triggers anxiety, and it distracts from the growth. Fine? All right. Now, we are talking about you versus you. So it is not just a slogan, it is a mindset shift. So whenever you want to implement this you versus you concept in your life, what you have to do? You have to shift the question. Instead of asking, am I better than them? Am I better than them? Start asking, am I better than I was yesterday? If you do this, then you are implementing this you versus you concept in your life, right? So once you do this, you will be able to see the growth, okay? So once you start implementing this you versus you concept in your life, what will happen? You will compete with yourself. You will compete with your version from the past, right? And then you will start improving. That's where your improvement will start, beta. Fine? So over here, if you start implementing you versus you, that means what you have to do? You have to ask yourself every day. You have to ask yourself every day that, am I studying 10 minutes more than yesterday? Can I keep more focus than yesterday? Can I revise one extra chapter today than before? Or can I correct one mistake? Am I correcting one mistake from yesterday? Right? This is what you have to ask every day. You don't have to compare. You don't have to compare with your friend, your classmates. You don't have to compare with anyone. Right? You just have to compare your today's version with your yesterday's version, beta. ठीक है? I don't know Telugu. I just know food items in Telugu, beta. I'm so sorry. If you want me to speak those items, I can speak. Alright, so over here, this is where you have to start your you versus you. Right? What does you versus you mean? That means you need to ask yourself every day, am I doing good today than yesterday? Right? Yesterday I could do only 5 questions of physics. Today, right? Today, if you can do 6 questions of physics, that means you are improving. Okay, that means you are improving. You know, progress over perfection. You don't have to be perfect every day, but if you are giving 100% today, try to give 101% tomorrow. ठीक है? Try to give 101% tomorrow. That's where you improve, beta. Fine? So, make sure that every day when you start your day, you have to ask yourself these questions. Right? Alright. So, over here, I'll give you one real life example. Real life example of you versus you concept implementation. Right? So, we had one student last year. Let's call her Shreya. That's not her real name. Let's call her Shreya. Right? When she started her journey of NEET preparation with us, her first mock test score was 567. And you know, she was not able to improve for the next 2 months. Like she was scoring around 560, 570, 560, 570, sometimes 400. So, after 2 months, she connected with all the teachers and asked, ma'am, how to improve my score? I'm not able to see any improvement over here. That means I'm not cut out for this. I will not be able to do it, ma'am. We are like, relax, beta. We have 8 months to go. We have 8 months to go. We can improve. Don't worry. Right? So, what we did is, we gave her some target. Like, you don't have to jump from 560 to 660 in one mock test. Just try to improve by 3 to 5 marks in every test, beta. Okay? Try to improve by 3 to 5 marks in every test. So, we started from 567, then 570, then 577, then 580, then 590, and you know, her final score in NEET exam was 682. So, this journey from 567 to 682 was done in the period of 8 months. Why? Because she was applying this you versus you. She was beating herself, her previous version in every test. You know, she was applying her you versus you concept in every test. And once you apply this thing daily, consistently, you can see the results. Fine. So, we started from 567 and this was her final score. So, small wins. In first 2-3 tests, she used to call us and she used to tell ki ma'am, we are just improving by 3 marks, 7 marks. It is not giving me any motivation. We were like, beta, just wait for 2 months. After 2 months, you will be able to see a shift in your attitude. Right? And that's what she told ki ma'am, okay, now I can see that from 567 to 620, there is improvement. Right? So, whenever you start your journey, you have to be consistent and you have to be patient over here. So, with the small wins like 2 to 3 marks more in every test, she got big result, big impact. What was that big result? 3-digit AIR. You know, 3-digit AIR. Fine. So over here, this was real life story of you versus you concept. Okay? Okay. Now, I'll give you certain methods of implementing this you versus you concept in your everyday life. Right? So, this is tool number 1. There are 3 methods, beta. There are 3 methods. First method is weekly self-check. Every Sunday, tomorrow is Sunday, right? So you can start this thing tomorrow, right? Every Sunday, you can sit and ask yourself what went well in the last week. ठीक है बेटा, आपने क्या किया लास्ट वीक, आपने ऐसा क्या किया जिससे आपको अच्छा रिजल्ट मिला? What went well in the last week so because of that your confidence got some boost up, right? You have to write it, what went well. It can be anything, ma'am. I wanted to solve, one question sheet that I was avoiding for quite some time because it was lengthy and, difficult. But you were avoiding this thing, but this week you found some courage, motivation to do it. Write it down, bachcho. Write it down. What went well last week? Then you can ask yourself, what distracted me? Okay, I was almost on track last week, but there were certain distractions. What kind of distractions? Ma'am, I just wanted to take a break, and then I started watching reels for 15 minutes, and suddenly those 15 minutes converted into 2 hours duration. So that is distraction, beta. Right? So once you write this thing, what distracted me, then try to avoid that thing. Okay, I will not watch reels for this entire week now. Right? Then what can I improve next week? You have to take a goal for the next week as well. Okay, this time, ma'am, I felt really difficult in understanding the inorganic chemistry, right? So I think next week I will try to focus, I'll allot some more time to inorganic chemistry, beta. Fine? That is what you have to do every week, every Sunday. Ask yourself, make your ritual over here, beta, habit, routine. Every Sunday morning after taking good breakfast. Without breakfast, don't do it, okay? After having good breakfast over here, just ask yourself these 3 things. Write it down in the notebook, beta. What went well? This is something that I did really good, and I think I should continue this thing next week as well. Then, what distracted me? Right? Again, write it down. Okay, this was my source of distractions. I think I will avoid this thing. Right? And the third thing is, what can I improve next week? You have to take the goal for next week as well, beta. You have to look at this with 360-degree view. Fine? Okay? I hope everyone is with me here. Okay? Will you be able to do this thing tomorrow? Yes, no. Can we start this activity from tomorrow? Yes, no, everyone. Yes? Okay. All right. Well done. Well done, Ananya, Anita. Well done, beta. Good. Very nice. See, here you have to write it here. What you can improve. So, just don't look at the bigger picture. That is what we call short-term goal. What you think is, if I'm not confident, if I'm not comfortable, if I'm not 100% sure, then also I'll do some more question. I might get some plus marks over here but you end up getting more negative marks, right? So if you want to, you know, attempt more questions, that's okay. But first of all, be confident, improve your conceptual clarity. So write this thing down that this time I will attempt only those questions in which I am 100% confident. Just see the result for yourself. Then next time you will be able to avoid the questions in which you are not confident. Just compare with temptation, without temptation. ठीक है प्रणय? All right. Okay, now next is tool number 2. I like to call this tool as my momentum Monday, right? So this is applicable in every field. No matter what you do in your life, you should start your Monday with one small win. So when you set the tone of your week right, you will feel motivated throughout the week, beta. ठीक है? So over here, start your Monday with one small win. For example, you are scared of rotational motion, right? And you are avoiding the questions of rotational motion, but this time you will sit for 1 hour and try to do 10 questions of rotational motion. That is what we call one small win, right? If you're scared of something, just try to do that thing. It can be anything. Okay, I was just avoiding NCRT. I wanted to read NCRT for very long time, but out of, laziness, I was not reading the NCRT, right? So, start reading the NCRT. That can be your one small win. If you're scared of something, just start that thing on Monday morning. You will feel motivated and you will perform really good throughout the week over here. Okay? All right. So this is tool number 2. That is your Momentum Monday. And you know, these 2 exercises like weekly self-check and Momentum Monday, this is done by even elite athletes. So I think so should you. You should start doing these exercises from tomorrow. And the third thing, which is very important for NEET and JEE aspirants over here, is mock test reflection log. So after giving mock test, just don't calculate your marks, beta. You know, don't calculate your marks and leave it like that only. After doing mock test, track your silly mistakes. What are the silly mistakes? Right? What are the sources of, like, what are the types of silly mistake? Whether it is calculation mistake, I was not able to remember the formula, or I jumped 3 to 4 steps in the question while doing the solution and I got the wrong answer. Fine. Right? So over here, what you have to do, after every mock test, you have to track your silly mistakes, beta. And whenever you give any exam, there are multiple topics, right? So you can track your weak subtopics, weak chapters. And once you can identify your weak topics and weak chapters over here, you can write it here. What can I improve next week? Okay? If you do this, you will be able to improve a lot. So, you know, these are the 3 main tools. With the help of these 3 main tools, you play the game of you versus you like a pro. That is how you beat you, right? So, over here, these are 3 main tools. Now, see, this is tried and tested method. Even champions, they do it. You know, what makes Virat Kohli great? Or in your language, the GOAT. What makes him so great? You can tell me in the chat box. Now everyone will be active. Just practice more and more questions in physics, beta. That is the only one solution for you. What makes Virat Kohli great? Because he is trying to be Sachin or Dhoni? No? Yes. We say that Virat Kohli is the GOAT of cricket, right? Why? Because, yes, self-practice, consistency, well done. He's not trying to be Dhoni or Sachin. He's trying to beat his own numbers every season with more consistency, better fitness, and sharper focus. Right? And that's what make him great. And that is you versus you at elite level. Right? So it's not like that this is applicable for students only, but even champions do this thing. They practice this you versus you technique every day. Fine? Now, I know that you're trying really hard, but sometimes you get really good marks, and sometimes you get okay marks. So I want to give a message to all the mentors who are with our wonderful students over here, that even if your child is growing by even slowly, support them. If they are trying, just appreciate them. If they fall, if they stumble, just help them get up. Just don't compare, because comparison adds pressure, whereas self-improvement, it builds confidence. Right? So, I want to give one last message to everyone, that every great result starts small. You have to start, you have to set the momentum, because over here you don't need motivation, you need motion. Right? So remember, every great result starts small. Even AIR 1 was once stuck. Right? Every topper once felt stuck, lost, but they did not give up. They simply said every day, okay, let me be better than yesterday. Right? This is what they did. Right? So here is your challenge right now, right here. Write down one habit that you will change to improve yourself this week. Can you do that in the chat box, everyone? Right now, right here, just write one habit that you will change to improve yourself. Not to beat your friend, not to beat any rank list, or not to beat anyone, just to beat yourself from the yesterday. Can we do that? Because always remember, in the end, it is always you versus you. Right? What you will implement this week to improve yourself, so that you can be best version of yourself than yesterday. Practice more? Yes? Well done. Very nice. Hare Krishna. You will leave watching reels? Well done, Deepa. Very nice. Make practice goal. Yes. Well done. Negative questions attempted, stop. Okay, write it down and paste it somewhere on your wall. Learn one more question. Yes, beta, well done. Self notes, very nice. Good, good, good. Even you can see the chat box over here and you can learn from each other. Be truthful to yourself. Yes, that is the most important thing. If we commit that I will practice more, but you have to commit, okay, this time I will practice 50 questions. You have to say a number with your commitment over here. Set clear goals. I will improve my maths and physics. Well done, Vita. Good, very nice. Practice. Yes, error notes. Error notes are very important. Discipline. Listen to mummy. Very important. Nahi to flying chappal will come. Error notes. Wake up early and learn at the morning. Yes, best time to learn. Read the NCERT. Reach the target I said this week. Yeah, but make sure that is realistic target. Error book. Avoid destruction. Yes, don't compare with other marks. Very important. Comparison kills your focus. Well done, bachcho. More practice in physics. Practice, yes, you should always work on your mistakes, beta. There's no better teacher than your mistake, you know. Aha, well done. Yes. Everyone starts small. You have to remember this thing. You cannot change everything in a single night. You have to work towards that goal continuously. Consistency is important, and that is possible when you see yourself in past, what you were, what you are today. Compare these two versions, then only you will be able to remove all this negativity and all this distractions and everything. Yes, it's you and you competition, beta. Yes, correct the mistake. Well done. Very nice. Good. Good to see. I'm glad that you are openly committing this thing over here. So next time when I see you, you'll have to tell me how much of you um, can like were able to implement all these things, right? Just start from somewhere. Those who are asking how to learn, but just start from somewhere, right? If you can see, yeah, only 1% improvement, that means you're improving, right? So if this session helped you, hit the like button and comment below with your weekly you versus you goal, and share this session with your friend who needs to stop comparing and start believing, right? Because ultimately it's always you versus you. And remember, you are not behind. If you are improving by very small amount, that's okay. You are not behind. You are just becoming better version of yourself. Right? So that is it for today's session, everyone. Thank you so much for your participation. See you soon. All the best, bachcho. Take care. Bye bye.